you're going to want to stop counting and clapping and put your metronome down, because none of those things are going to help you learn the rhythm of a piece you're working on. I'm going to tell you why, and then I'll give you 3 tools that will help. And if you listen through the whole video, I have a challenge for you at the end. The main reason those 3 things don't work is that they don't prevent you from doing a rhythm wrong. Think about it. How can you clap a rhythm unless you already know the rhythm? And clapping doesn't just not help, it makes it harder to learn a rhythm, because clapping is a stop motion and learning a rhythm means understanding how it fits in flowing time. Counting out loud doesn't work because it's really easy to say the right counts but with the wrong rhythm. For example, anybody who's ever taught a piano lesson has heard students count quarter notes in 3/4 like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, which is the right counts, but it's the wrong rhythm. And it's good to learn the counts so you can communicate with other musicians, but counting alone won't help you learn a rhythm. A metronome might help you keep from rushing or dragging once you already know a rhythm, but it won't help you learn the rhythm in the first place, because it's really easy to play a rhythm wrong with the metronome like this. Instead of this, like it's supposed to go. So those are the 3 don'ts. So now I'm going to give you 3 things that will help you learn a rhythm so you can perform it accurately and with confidence. I'll give you the 3 tips and then I'll show you how they work. If you do these 3 things, it'll actually make it a lot harder for you to do the rhythm wrong, and that's where you want to be. First and most important, you have to understand the context of the rhythm. Is it in duple meter, triple meter, or something else? And I wish it was as easy to explain this as it is to say pick up a metronome, because it's impossible to learn a rhythm if you don't understand the meter it lives in. If you don't know what I mean by meter, please check out this video. Second, in order to lock the rhythm in so it becomes part of your vocabulary, it really helps to use a system of beat function syllables. I use the Froseth syllables because they have a lot of advantages, so I recommend using that system. Keep watching and I'll give you an example of that later in the video. Finally, you really know a rhythm when you can improvise with it. And this is the fun part where you've already learned the rhythm, so now you can go to town and be expressive with it. So now I'm going to demonstrate with an actual rhythm, and I'm going to ask for your participation too. But first, if this is helpful to you, please subscribe to the channel and share this video with other interested musicians. And if you do that, I'll keep helping. So here's the rhythm. I have it in front of me. And if you'd like a copy for yourself, check the description of this video for instructions on how to get one. So if you want to learn a rhythm, you're going to have to hear it. If you're an experienced music reader, you can hear it in your head from reading the notation. Otherwise, it might be helpful to find a recording or get a friend who can read music to perform it for you. So first we need to figure out the meter. You could look at the time signature, but that can be misleading. You want to look at the notes themselves and they can tell you. So in this rhythm, you can see notes in groups of 3, like this, and even this, which suggests we're in triple meter. And that's because we're in triple meter. That means for the entire time you're learning this rhythm, you need an undercurrent of triple meter macro beats layered with triple meter micro beats. And there's different ways to do that, but let's sway to macros and tap arms to micros like this. Ba, 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 ba. And I'll tell you a secret, musicians never stop moving. We just learn to shape our movements to fit the instrument we're playing when we have to perform. So if you're not an experienced reader, you'll need to break your rhythm up into 4 macrobeat chunks to learn them. And so this is the part of the video where I need your participation. So we're going to do this together. I'll establish meter, and then I want you to continue moving and echo the patterns after I read each one in the score. Ready? Here we go. Ba, 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 ba. Ready and listen. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. And that's it. So this rhythm isn't just one big scary thing. It's 4 smaller rhythm patterns put together. So you can break all your difficult music into smaller patterns so that you can make better sense of it. Now let's move on to step 2. This is where you cement the rhythm in your memory with beat function syllables. We're going to use the Gordon-Froseth syllables where macro beats are do and micro beats are do, da, di when you're in triple meter. Anything between microbeats is a ta. So for this step, you'd still want to work out the smaller rhythm patterns individually. But for this video, I'm going to put them all together so you can hear what it sounds like. Now, I've actually practiced this rhythm and I might still mess it up. And that's okay. When that happens, you just want to move on to the next macro beat and keep those big beats consistent. If you want to do this yourself, I recommend using the playback speed controls and crank it down to half speed, which will be good for my view times too. So here we go. Do-da-dee-do, ready and chant now. Do-da-dee-do, 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 da-ta-dee-ta-do-da-dee-do. Do-da-dee-do-ta-da-dee-do-ta-ta-ta-do. Do-ta-ta-dee-do-da-ta-ta-do-ta-da-dee-ta-do. How'd you do? If you're really adventurous, crank it up to 1.5 times speed and see what happens. So now you're ready for step 3, the fun part, to improvise with your rhythm patterns on the piano or whatever your instrument is. Use random keys, alternating hands, middle finger only, or soft fists. And when I say random keys, I really mean that. Don't try to make this sound pretty. The whole point is to isolate the rhythm patterns. So if you're trying to create a beautiful melody, you're missing the point. So here again, you should work out each of the rhythm patterns individually, but for now, I'm just going to run the whole piece. Do-da-dee-do, improvise. Fun, huh? So those are your 3 steps to learn a rhythm. Number 1, establish the meter. Number 2, lock it in with beat function syllables. And 3, improvise with it. So now you're ready for the challenge I promised you. So take a look at this scary rhythm and see what you can do with it. I have a very specific reason for knowing that you can perform it if you performed the rhythm that we just did earlier. So pause the video or take a screenshot and see what you can do with it. Let me know in the comments what you come up with. When you're done with that, check out this other video on movable resting tone solfege. Do, da, dee.